Okay. Let's take a seat. Sitting upright, perhaps on a block or a blanket. Bring your shoulders up to your ears, bring them up, and then just let them go down the back. Roll them behind a couple times. Let the shoulders just fall down. Release. Take some breaths to just clear out the lungs. Now let's open our practice up for today with any gesture, mudra, or a bow. Great, so let's start on all fours today. And let's start with some gentle cat-cows. Wake up the spine. Wake up the nervous system. Say hello to the sensory feelings of the body. Pushing the hands into the floor as you undulate your spine. Breathing in your own rhythm. Really letting the head and neck go when you come into your cat. And really letting the belly drop when you come into your cow. Come back to a neutral spine. And let's flip the palms around so that we get a nice wrist stretch going, so you can have the fingertips pointing you. Just rock your hips back towards your heels. Getting a nice open stretch in the wrist area. And you can continue rocking, or maybe you come back and hold it for a moment. Just feeling the opening. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. Come back, flip the palms back around. Actually, we can just sit on our heels and just keep the palms open on the lap for a moment just to feel. Maybe you can feel the blood flow back to each finger. Just noticing any residual pressure. Now we'll just come back onto all fours, but this time we'll tuck the palms underneath the wrists so that the palms are facing up and the fingertips are pointing towards us. Different, but kind of similar. Again, the top of the wrist this time, top of the hands are compressed. You can just rock back and forth for a while, or you can find some stillness, letting your hips just kind of drop back. Feeling that compression on the top of the wrist and the opening up. Relaxing the shoulders. Maybe keeping a slight part at the lips, just so that the jaw doesn't get too tight. Good, and then you can lift that up and just bring your hands gently into your lap again. Palms facing up, receiving the new energy, the new chi that's bursting into your hands now. Little heartbeats in the palm. Gentle, subtle movement. Good. And now we can just squeeze our hands a little bit, stretch the fingers out. Spread the arms out. And we'll play around with a little pandiculation, my new favorite word. Stretching intuitively and just opening up any tight, squishy places. Oh, maybe you get a little pop here and there. Oh, yay, we love pandiculation. Just stretching however your body wants to stretch. I've been doing a lot more intuitive movement lately, just on my own time. And it's reminding me how much more embodied and how much more myself I feel when I just spend a lot of time giving my body what it's asking for. Imagine that, just like doing the things that are good for your body. I'm laughing because it's rare. So this is an opportunity to just move how you want to move without being told what to do. The only thing I'm telling you what to do is to move how you want to move. So take that as you will, but just enjoy some time for some free form stretch. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Doesn't have to be symmetrical or pretty. We're going towards feeling good, feeling in your body, trying something out that maybe you've never tried before. I can't tell you what your body's never discovered about itself. Only you can find that space. Bonnie Bainbridge Cohen says that she can't tell us what the truth is about our bodies, but she can preach her truth and point us in the direction of where she's going, and then only we can find out what's true for us. So that's a long way of saying, find out what's true for you right now. Find out what's going on. I'm pointing to the body, but only you can find out what's inside. new, what's different, what's habitual. Try not to think about it too much. Out of the mind, into the body, into the body. As always, sounds are welcome. Sounds are good. Wow! A time for expression, for expression. Ow, ow! Spring is here. There's flowers outside. Only do this for a couple more minutes. Just see if you can notice what your brain is doing here. Any self-consciousness, any confusion, agitation, pleasure, whatever it is, just notice it and let it go. And come back to feeling where the body just naturally wants to move. Your own personal expression. Expression. Yay! Party time emoji. Okay, my age is gonna show now in like, not the way that like, oh, I'm old, but in the way we're like, oh no, I'm I'm young. But there's a show called iCarly. I don't know why.
God, no, I watch iCarly.
Okay.
Yup.
Why am I sharing this? But like the random dancing is how I feel right now.
Yes.
Yep, another technical yoga term. Random dancing, at least in my classes at this point. Thank you for understanding, Annie. Let's just randomly dance for another minute. It makes me laugh. It's funny. Start to gradually slow down the movement. Whatever you've got going, bringing it closer to the floor if you're up. Continuing to move a little bit. Dropping into feeling. Staying with the sensations. And then just dragging our body into this little pinwheel, lightning bolt, leg formation. Let's start with the knees pointing to the left and the feet pointing to the right. And we'll set up for deer pose. After all that, we should be nice and warm, ready to be super embodied in our deer. And you can place a bolster or a pillow next to that left hip and turn your torso over that hip towards the left and just bring your body down. Ah. I'll read you a quote. Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche. This is a passage from Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism about the absence of struggle. The method that the Buddha discovered is meditation. He discovered that struggling to find answers did not work. It was only when there were gaps in his struggle that insights came to him. He began to realize that there was a sane, awake quality within him that manifested itself only in the absence of struggle. So the practice of meditation involves letting be. Letting be. Staying with the quietness. Surrounding ourselves with the quietness. Trying not to disturb this sense of stillness. We'll transition to the other side. Move with a gentle grace, without struggle. Continuing with any intuitive movement in between, letting your body decide what's best without the mind getting too involved. And finding your way to the other side. Letting things be as they are. No big deal. Just remembering to move slow enough that you can feel each movement as you work your way into your next resting position on the right. Perhaps we notice the volume of our thoughts. Sometimes we barely notice it. Sometimes it's very loud. Just noticing now what's going on. Maybe finding some gaps in between thoughts. Moments of stillness. Moments of quiet. There's a sane, awake, open quality reaches to the surface whenever we give up the struggle, the resistance to the moment. Just letting go of any defense, any need to be elsewhere. mentally preparing to leave this deer. Maintaining a sense of continuity but freshness. Let this transition not be abrupt. Let it be a continuation. Being still as you rise up, as you unbend the legs, as you move according to your own body's needs. Move based on what feels right, without believing it to be a right or a wrong. Allowing what is. Experiencing what's here right now. And right now. And right now. You can place your props over to the side. And we'll come onto our bellies. Arms stretched out in a T position. Coming into contact with the floor. Recalibrating this new reality. We'll take an extended wing now, get into those shoulder corners. So let's start by lifting the right foot into the air, bending the right knee, and spinning the hips and the chest open towards the ceiling. Let the head rest on the left side. And that right hand can reach for the left fingers, or it can just lay lazily across the belly or draped behind the back. Again and again and again, the thoughts come, the stories return, the little projects resume inside the mind, bringing our attention and our awareness to this ever-changing, ever-morphing part of our minds. Just being with the changes. Knowing that the mind is doing what it's doing because that's what it does. Giving it some space to move freely without clinging, without pushing away. letting be. Let's return to our bellies again. Your hand catch you so that you can just slide right back down, giving the earth a big hug again. Option to come into Sphinx whenever the floor feels a little bit too inaccessible. Noticing what that did. Very simple, no big deal. Just feeling the effect of time and shape. If your arms aren't already out in a T shape, just bringing them out to start again. Getting ready to do the whole dance again. This time left leg pops up, foot comes to the air, and we'll spin the chest open again, this time compressing that right shoulder. Letting the right temple rest to the ground. And then your fingertips again, they could touch, but they don't have to. Arriving again. Placing yourself in your own center. A feeling of being home, being okay. Letting go of a need to be somewhere or someone. Maybe we wish things were different, but they're not. So can we be with things as they are? And work with that. hang in this shoulder compression for just a few more minutes. Coming back, rolling back into this T shape. Finding any shape to feel the reverb in. You could sit up, or you could roll onto your back. We won't be here very long, but just finding a space where you feel like you can feel. Observe the body's natural ability to find equilibrium. Wherever you are, we'll come back to all fours again. Let's do that whole business again with the wrists. Just pointing the fingertips back. And maybe giving it a few rocks. Sitting back a little bit, just feeling that opening again. And relax the shoulders. They just want to be right up next to the ears, but they are definitely a separate entity from the ears. Relax the jaw. Notice if there's any upright motion of the face or the hips. Just let everything glide towards the earth. Come back, spin the hands around, and then place the tops of the hands back on the floor, fingertips pointing towards you, rocking forward and back for a moment, and then finding a resting place where your hips are slightly back, and the tops of the hands are stretching. They are certainly stretching. Relax the breathing. Relax the shoulders. Releasing that, coming to sit on your heels again, like the palms just rest. Relax the shoulders again. the face be soft. Unclench the belly. Letting things be as they are. Giving up struggle. Let's come back to the hands once more. We'll walk the hands about 1.5 feet in front of us, maybe a little bit more depending on your arm length. And just keep the hips up, drop the chest down, coming into a puppy pose. Opening the armpits, flexing the thoracic spine. Enough of that. You can walk your hands back. And we'll just come onto our side. So let's start with the left side. And you can just put your head in your hands. And we'll do cat pulling its tail. So that top leg, the right leg, can shoot out in front of you, and it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It's just kind of out there, hanging out. And then this bottom leg, the left foot, will come up, bending the knee. You can find it with your right hand. And perhaps this is good. This is great here. You can just hang out here. But if you wanted to just swing your chest down towards the floor, or your shoulder down towards the floor, your chest is up towards the sky. Now you've got kind of crisscross legs, a little bit of a twist going on. Some people might want to grab their toes and just pull them apart a little bit. That's the kind of force that's not necessary here, but very allowed if you'd like. Maybe finding somewhere in the middle between the fullest expression. I hate to say that, they're all full expressions. Whatever expression you're in, why is that not full? It's full. But if you wanted to go most extreme sensation or loose and lazy, finding somewhere in between that, finding the edge, finding your full expression of today. Of that. And if you have any padding that you want to put underneath that right shoulder to help it come to the floor, help the floor come to meet you, that's also very allowed. wide open spaces beyond the thoughts, beyond the struggle. Soft shoulders. Very carefully, you can let go of any clasping you've got of legs or toes. And spin on back to the side body, feeling the compression of your whole side on the left. Isn't that nice? It's a totally different relationship to the ground. In a way, it's like we're balancing. Can you feel the balance it requires to be on the side of the body? Very delicate and subtle. Let's spin all the way back down to the belly and just come up for a little sphinx. And the elbows can be wider to put less sensation on the lower back. If they're parallel, you've got this curve in the lumbar spine, very natural. If you want a little bit more sensation, you can put your hands a little farther than shoulder width apart and come up for seal. Feel that nice length, feeling the support of the ground underneath the hips and the legs and the feet. Even the hands are holding everything. The spine can just suspend. And letting that go. And rolling onto the right side now. Little two cat pulling its tail on the right. So I'm going to switch around here. But it's the same deal, just starting on the right, finding that balancing act on the right side of the body. Here we are, feeling the whole side of the ribs, the sides of the pelvis, and the sides of the legs. They're all getting some compression here. Feeling the weight of the body on the floor. And then that top leg, that left leg can go zoom right out in front of you. Doesn't matter what angle it's at. It can go anywhere really high or really low. It's finding where that arm of the clock works for you today. And then bending that right foot up, catching it, and coming into this flat back, or maybe halfway there, or maybe there's some pillows underneath that left shoulder. Finding this little twist here. Big little twist. arriving again and again. Without beating ourselves up, without demanding perfection. Being here, letting things be as they are. Flowing into this very moment. Following the flow, change. And this time, when we leave this pose, you can just let everything go and find your way fully onto your back. Just finding the floor again. This is a different kind of balancing act. Gravity's doing most of the work here. So this is like the most possible surface area that could be on the ground. Noticing where the floor comes up to meet your head and where it meets your feet, heels. Feeling our flatness and our roundness all at once. Suction cupped to the ground. And just allow the earth to hold you here. You gently fall into Shavasana. Bringing the attention to the space in between the eyebrows. Maybe there's a very, very light tingling sensation or a subtle vibration there. Witness the energy of your intuition. Discernment. And then rolling over to any side, giving yourself a hug. Say something sweet to yourself. And then coming up to sit, to close. One last breath together. We dedicate our practice to all beings in the hopes that the merits of our practice will bring a cessation to suffering and freedom to all. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful and at ease. Closing our practice today with any gesture, mudra, or bow. Thank you. Thank you for practicing with me.
Yay, thanks, Sadie.
You're welcome.